Sidebottom here, speaker, author, and trainer, and I go around and I teach sales organizations and leadership teams how to grow trust and influence with their customers and their team members to drive more revenues and higher profits. Today, let's talk about how you build a high-performing sales team. That's right. We all want the high-performing salespeople that actually take our profits and do this. Go straight up all the time. We don't want this kind of bleeping along and kind of moving a little bit. We want the killer people that are just taking it and skyrocketing our business, right? Well, how do we do that? Well, first thing we need to do is make sure we have the right people on the bus, right? Like Jim Collins says, we need to make sure we have the right people. And you can do all the different kind of predictive index and all this stuff, but you got to find the right people that fit your culture. Because if they don't fit your culture, they're just going to move in and move out, and it's not going to work. So you need to take time and not just hire somebody who has a heartbeat. You need to make sure you understand them and they understand what you're trying to do, and you guys align. Because if you don't, it's going to make a lot of friction. Okay? The second thing you need to do, and something I always ask is, show me your sales process. What is the process you use to make your sales? Most of the time it's, well, we have this thing where we get our RFQ and we do this and we do that, and they can't look me right in the eye and tell me exactly what that sales process is. That's a problem. Because if you don't have a sales process that's repeatable over and over and becomes second nature to your sales team, well, guess what? You're going to fail. You're not going to be as efficient as you need to be in today's market. So you have to have a solid sales process. And it has to answer the 5 buying decisions that the customer has. And if you don't do it right, or you get them out of order, or you miss any of them, you quickly become a commodity. When you become a commodity, well, now you're eroding all of your profit. So we need to make sure we have a solid sales process lined up to answer the 5 buying decisions, okay? And let's face it, the first buying decision is the salesperson. You, me, yeah, that's right. We have to hit the mark and become very likable very quickly, because there's 3 questions everybody asks at every interaction. Do I like you? Do I trust you? And how can you help me? So, if you're going to be in sales or you're going to hire these salespeople, make sure that they understand how to build rapport, likability, and trust pretty quickly. You can do that in your interviews. You can set the stage and when you're interviewing with them on how they're going to come in and see how they handle some of these things. Because listen, if you're in a noisy subway or there's lots of machinery going off, it's not going to be very easy to build likability with people because their anxieties are going to be up. And when anxieties are up, walls go up. Kind of hard to build a relationship with people, right? If we're going to succeed with them, we need to make sure that we're hitting the mark. And we have to make sure that they like us. And that depends on the situation, the clothes we wear, the different scents we wear. Yeah, even the scents. When's the last time you've gone into a department store and actually looked at how they set up the women's department compared to the men's department compared to the kids' department? If you haven't done so, go do your research. You'll notice they have different lighting, they have different sounds, and they have different smells in the different environments. So depending on who you're meeting with, it's going to depend a lot on what colors you wear, the different scents, all of that, which is why I typically don't wear colognes anymore. Because we don't know everybody's personalities and their history. Different scents can actually trigger people. And if the trigger goes off and the anxiety goes up, guess what happens to you? Yep, you're no longer in the friend zone, right? So we need to make sure we're putting our best foot forward. So we need to know how we build rapport. And I teach the house analogy, how we go and do this with everybody in my trainings, and it helps greatly because you have to have a solid foundation if you're going to move forward with anybody. That's right. You have to have a good foundation, just like a house. If you're not going to have a solid foundation and you start putting up the walls and the roof, it's quickly going to fall over and collapse. So we need to make sure when we're engaging people, we have that solid foundation. And that means we have to ask the right kind of questions to uncover, their situation, their issues, and the ramifications that they have if those issues aren't addressed. Because if we don't, guess what happens? We miss the mark. We make assumptions, and we give them a solution that they don't need. Well, when we do that, we don't benefit them. So we need to make sure that we have a solid sales process set up to move forward with people so that they align with and we find out with what they need, or we're unsuccessful. Now, top performers, top athletes, the Navy SEALs, they all use processes because they know by going through these processes over and over again, they'll get faster. And when you get faster, you become more efficient. When you get more efficient, costs go down. Sales and profits go up. That's what we need to have. And that's how a sales process will do that for you and your sales team. So help them and implement the right process. All right? If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. My contact information is below. If you like this video and it's helpful, hit like, share, subscribe, send it to somebody you think it might help. That's why I do these videos. We'll see you next time.